If you ever feel directionless and you don't know what to do, the reason for that simply is that you lack vision, which is why in this video I'm going to show you why having a vision is so damn important, what happens if you don't have one, but also how to find your personal one so you can go all in on achieving your dreams and really get to the next level, guys. So in this video, we will talk about the concept of having a vision, guys, and I'm very excited to talk about this because this genuinely changed my life, guys. So let's get right into it. So first of all, you need to understand that if you really want to make a difference in your life, you need to be locked in for at least 12 to 24 months, guys, for at least 1 to 2 years. But the problem with being dialed in for so long and focusing your attention into just one thing for such a long time can get really demotivating and depressing. That's like the big problem with staying locked in for such a long time, And there is a very simple reason for that. Because if you don't know where you're heading, meaning if you don't have a vision and you don't know how to get there, of course you don't know how to get there if you don't even know where you want to go in the first place, right? You will get lost in the void of online business, guys. And that's the worst place you can be at, And I'm going to show you a visual representation of what getting lost in the void really means, guys, and explain to you my story of when I lost my vision and what I did to fix that thing, And this also happens for people that have no vision in the first place, guys. It's not just about the not having a vision, but also losing the vision you currently have, guys. And I'm going to explain both of these angles to you. So this is a image, of a guy jumping from one side of the bridge to the other bridge, And that's pretty much my story on my whole copywriting or online business journey, guys. You have to imagine when I started out with the whole copywriting thing, I didn't know what I was doing because I was just pitching every single service in my service offering to people. Do you want this piece of copy or do you want that? And of course, things are not going to work because singular pieces of copy don't make any money, but that's something I didn't understand. But after some time, I understood that you only make money through marketing pushes, through launches, or through sequences of multiple copies, which is kind of email retarget sequences, special offer sequences, basically browsing the whole email list to actually make some money, That's the first instance on when I understood that you don't make money with just the basic copywriting, just the writing words, It's more so about bringing your copy to life and everything, So that's when I found out about retarget sequences and stuff. But after that, I joined this growth operator school, which basically teaches you how to really do big launches, marketing stuff. And I finally understood that it's all about going all in on marketing and tying it to a special offer on something. So that's when I really understood the whole growth partner side of things, where you actually make money with sequences of marketing instruments, So but the whole growth operating thing was very, very hard. You need to go to creators that are actually able to generate tons of money, because if they don't solve a very big problem of their audience is a little bit too small, you're not going to make money, especially with low ticket programs, So I didn't know what I was doing in terms of the growth operating too much. I was very confused, So essentially, I leaned myself out of my comfort zone, which was the whole copywriting thing. Okay, it was fine, but now I lean myself out of the comfort zone and start the growth operating, where bigger money is to be made, but things are also getting exponentially harder. It is completely fine to lean yourself out of your comfort zone, but if you lean yourself out too much, you are going to lose direction. You don't know where you are at. I had a vision for my copywriting business, and then I transitioned this whole thing into a growth partner business, but I don't know how to actually make stuff work, and I was very confused, and suddenly my whole vision changed. I didn't know what the hell was going on, So you need to imagine, I was jumping from this side of the bridge to the other bridge, and I didn't land on this side. I was just flying in the air, and I didn't know how to get to the next stage. I lost all direction. I thought something to myself bro, the past thing I did won't work this good, so I can't go back to it, but I also don't know how to do the new thing, So I was stuck in this void of confusion and uncertainty. And just a little side note, the way I fixed all of this confusion was just like attaining more knowledge. Specifically, I bought a mentorship from some guy, and he basically helped me out with understanding how growth operating or like being a growth partner really works, you know? So yeah, I lost my direction, I lost my vision because I was too far out of my comfort zone, you know? So I lost everything kind of, but I got back on track once I really understood how to make this thing work, you know? But I also didn't want to go back to like the typical copywriting kind of email retarget sequence stuff. So it was very hard for me and very demotivating. So yeah, quick yap right here, but that's like the whole story. And now I understand everything that goes into being a growth operator or like growth partner, and how to actually make money with the skill of copywriting and like building funnels and stuff, you know? So now you understand, guys, quick yap right here, that leaning out of your comfort zone triggers growth, but leaning out too much leaves you with confusion and overwhelm, guys, you know? Everything feels cloudy, and ultimately you end up losing your vision because you had too big of a vision, which is kind of ironic, right? But you were aiming too high and you skipped certain steps, and now you don't know what you're doing. You're just floating in between like the ends of the bridge, you know? So yeah, that's a very hard position to be in. And if you have no vision to start with, you know, or you don't set any expectations on what your journey may look like, you know, even if these expectations are wrong, at least you have something, you know. If you don't have these things, you will get lost in the void and feel demotivated even faster, guys. You need to see the bigger picture, you know. So if you didn't understand by now, guys, why having a vision is so important till now, I'm going to give you even more reasons as to why you definitely need one, guys, and summarize the ones we talked about, guys. So let's talk about the first thing, clarity, guys, you know, meaning you don't have confusion. So if you don't have clarity and if you aren't confused, you are going to stick to the game plan, because confusion is really demotivating. There's also like a saying in sales. Basically, it means confusion kills sales. You know, if people are confused with your product, they don't know what you offer, they won't buy from you, which is also why you need a clear positioning and a clear service offering, you know. But in terms of like your whole business journey, confusion kills sales in the sense of confusion kills like your drive to like get sold on the business model. So essentially, if you are confused, you will like stop doing the business model because you are not sold on the whole journey, you know. Second point being expectations, guys. If you set the right expectations and give certain time frames to the whole journey, you're not going to get demotivated, because you're only going to get demotivated if things aren't going to happen as fast as you have imagined, you know? If you order something from Amazon and Prime tells you it will come by tomorrow, you will only get demotivated if it comes like after tomorrow, like in a week or something. You will be really demotivated by then. But if you straight up say to yourself, I'm only going to be successful after 12 months, and I'm not going to see anything in these 12 months. If you set your expectations conservatively and correctly, how are you going to get demotivated, you know? So you also set expectations if you have a vision. You get clarity if you have a vision, you know, because you understand the bigger picture. Also, if you have a vision, you have a big dream. You know where you are going and what you have to do in order to get there. This will hype you up and you will get very motivated, because you can already see like the imagery of yourself in that particular dream state. So having a vision is also very good on the emotional side of things. Also control, guys. You will understand what the hell is going on, and you will know how to fix the problems in each individual stage to actually get to the next level, right? So you kind of have a sense of control, you know? Also, focus, guys. You will know where to put your effort in, you know? So there's a concept called the highest leverage task. Basically the thing, if you only had 2 hours in your week that you could put into business, what would you do? You wouldn't design a logo. You wouldn't like learn something about I don't know what, you know. You would go all in on the thing that is actually going to make you money, which is either service delivery, like working with your current clients, or doing outreach in order to close new clients, you know. So that's like the highest leverage task. And if you see the bigger picture, if you know what's going on like in your whole journey, you know, if you see all of the stages, if you have like a very or specific outline of things, you can understand what is going to drive the needle forward in order to get to the next stage of online business, you know? So it's very good for setting priorities and gaining a focus, guys. That's another reason why you need a vision. But also, identity, guys. You will finally understand your personality better because you evaluate how to get to the desired state, you know, and what your desired state even is. So most people don't even know what they want and who they are, you know, and this will help you get clear on your identity, on your current state, and on the dream state you are. It will also give you like a sense of control as well. Same for point number 7, resilience, you know. You will not get demotivated, you will be resilient, you will have control. If you see the bigger picture, you know this is part of the game if things are going hard in the short term, but you know that everything will be fine in the long run because you simply planned out everything, so nothing can go wrong, you know. And of course, you will find like new stages here and there, you know, which you couldn't see like in the beginning because sometimes you have to be inside of the situation in order to really comprehend everything that goes into it, you know, but you can kind of like brainstorm 95% beforehand, depending on the level of expertise you bring with yourself. So yeah, and now guys, let's finally talk about what you have to do in order to create or get clear on your vision, guys, you know, and we are going to keep this very short and simple, you know. First of all, you need to choose a business model that you believe in, you know. For myself, I decided to go with the model of copywriting because I understood if I can make someone like big amounts of money, like if I understand the art of marketing and sales, you know, which is like the best skill you can have, like to just generate money, you know, it's like the best skill you can have. I have the best possible chances of like really succeeding, you know. Dropshipping is just a vehicle to utilize marketing and sales, but it is actually not like marketing and sales itself, you know, and copywriting is basically just a label or like the business model name of like the actual thing you are really doing, which is like understanding marketing and sales. So yeah, that's what I decided is best for me. And yeah, I also choose the business model that aligns with the personal interest and expertise, guys. These are like the two things you need to focus on. Choose something that aligns with your personal interest, but also with the things you are already good at, you know. So if you really like doing fitness and you really like if you are really good at doing fitness, you know, and you like helping others with that, become a fitness trainer, online fitness coach or something, right? Just as an example. And a bonus to this whole thing, to these two things is, find something that feels purposeful to you. So it's not just about like feeling good about something because you are interested in it and because you have expertise in it, but also you can zoom out for a moment and think to yourself, bro, what do I want to really do in terms of my career? And to be honest, I don't want to be a growth partner my whole life, but I want to teach others how to make fuck tons of money with the skill of growth partnering, you know, so, or like growth operating. So that's why my purpose kind of is this whole business right here, teaching you guys how to get to the next stage. You know, I love doing this, you know, but also I will be able to charge like huge amounts of money with that thing because it's like a high in-demand problem. But if I'm really able to solve this problem for you, you know, people are going to like the thing I do and I also enjoy the thing I do. So a bonus will be purpose, you know. After that, you get clear on all of the steps you have to take in order to scale that business to 100K per month and beyond. So just so you see all of the stages basically, right? And for copywriting, I have a whole video on this, which is called like the 7 stages. It's like my last video, I believe. The 7 stages to building a 100K a month copywriting business, and that's where you can see like the bigger picture of what the whole path, the whole journey actually looks like. I have like a few more videos on the whole journey, like how to make your first $1,000 as a copywriter, or like my journey to 10K a month, you know, a few videos to like kind of see the whole journey, you know. By the way, you don't need to necessarily like make that amount of money if that doesn't like fulfill your purpose, you know. If your whole goal and dream, your whole vision isn't about like being extremely rich, that's completely fine, you know? So yeah, and then you decide, because you need at least 10K, let's be honest, you will decide what you want to do with that money, you know? So even if you are not a very like materialistic person, you still need to figure out how to live your best life, kind of, you know. I believe you need to spend at least 10K to 20K a month to really live a fulfilling life, at least in my opinion. So yeah, even if you aren't materialistic, guys. So yeah, In other words, you just define what your dream life looks like. In terms of like your home, in which country you want to live. These are like kind of characteristics of like a vision, like some examples, you know. A vision can be, I want to live in another country, or like in Miami, you know, at like in a high rise or something. I want to have a very nice physique. I want to be eating healthy, eating clean. I want to have a personal chef cooking stuff for me in Miami in the high rise, you know. In terms of status, I want to have a very big Instagram account with supercars and stuff, you know, whatever, you know. You brainstorm everything that goes into having status. Materialism, you also brainstorm all on the things you want to buy in terms of like watches, cars, whatever, you know. So you also have to brainstorm what your dream life, like the perfect life, looks in terms of materialism, but of course also these three things, you know. But also in terms of relationships, do you want multiple girlfriends? You know, maybe. Do you want just one wife? You know, it's completely, it doesn't matter. Nothing is like immoral. You just do what you as you please. If you don't like limit the freedom of someone else, you can do whatever you want. So yeah, freedom ends where the freedom of another person begins, basically. Little side note. So yeah, and after that, after you have defined all of these things for yourself, guys, you finally start putting in the work. After you got clear on like your whole dream life, you finally start putting in the work and you conquer each step or stage of the business model you have chosen. For me, it's copywriting, and now I transition into like having a personal brand essentially and helping other people with copywriting. And you simply go with the flow, guys. You swim with or along the wave. And of course, you're going to find a few new stages in the meantime, you know, because simply you are not going to see everything beforehand. There are going to be a few stages that you can't see in the right moment. You have to be inside of the stage to actually see everything that goes into it, depending on like your brain points and like your level of expertise and your brainstorming ability kind of. You can predict almost everything, but yeah, chances are you are only going to capture at least 95%. Sometimes some people can only brainstorm like 20 to 30%, but that's really depending on like the person you are. But yeah, it is still very good to have a vague outline on what you have to do to really get clear on the bigger picture, guys. You need a vision, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want even more source on copywriting, outreach, on like making money with this whole skill of like marketing and sales, feel free to join my free school. Link is in the bio. There's a free 2-hour outreach masterclass in there telling you exactly how to get your very first client in the next 4 to 8 weeks, if you are willing to put in the work, because it's going to be very hard, but also if you have the service delivery side of things already figured out. It's almost like a paid mentorship because you can ask me questions in there, but also I will review your looms and your samples, which are like the 2 outreach methods I teach in there. And yeah, it's basically the only place you will ever need to be at in order to really make your first money, because I'm mentoring you for free, guys. And there are only 131 people in there, so you are still pretty early. So hope to see you inside of this, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.